And written communications?
I have some communication I'd like to provide the board this evening. I have drafted a letter for your review, and I'd like to present it as well.
Okay.
I just want to share with you recently the State Attorney's Office issued a review of their investigation concerning matters of coaching supplements and volunteers, mainly at Milton High School. I and my staff have worked directly with the State Attorney's Office to provide the most thorough and accurate review of these allegations. The review from the State Attorney's Office validated and our ongoing investigation and even assisted in substantiating our work. We have worked hand in hand with them. I appreciate their work. In our review, we have not found any intentional actions which would be violations of law. We greatly appreciate the State Attorney's Office and their work with us. Where the State Attorney's Office focused on violations of law, our investigation internally is centered on school board policy, administrative policy and procedure, and management practices, including direct communication of the school district and staff to schools. The direction I gave my staff over 8 weeks ago is to review actions of employees based upon our board and administrative policies and communication from and to district staff and their work. This work has been voluminous, generating hundreds of pages of written notes, archived information, and artifacts. Although our work is not done, I have drafted 4 action steps to make certain we will be operating appropriately. They are as follows. Manage this work robustly, as if each school site may have gaps in addressing board policy and administrative procedures appropriately. This would include addressing policy and procedure of ensuing board policy is implemented correctly. As of Monday, I'm calling for a stand down of all approval of volunteers until we review and retrain appropriate administrative personnel. I'm also calling for a stand down of credentialing of volunteers and school board employee coaches until a full status report can be created for each school site. These programs may begin after each program has been reviewed and validated as operating within school board policy and Florida law. Each school site will be retrained in administrative policy relative to these issues and process for engaging in their work for approvals. A full review of the process of assigning coaches, coaching supplements or instructional supplements by each grade level director will be called on, and after the review, each administrative personnel will be retrained in this administrative work. Additionally, the process of reviewing assigned supplements prior to board approval will be addressed to ensure supplements will be appropriate to the task and to the person that it is assigned. And fifthly, a review of all policy and management procedures to eliminate any potential gaps that may exist. And I'll add to this as well, we will, as we continue to investigate and wrap up that investigation, we will continue to evaluate any training needs and any needs relative to making certain that we eliminate any gaps. I think it's important to share with the board, although the report from the State Attorney Office has concluded, ours has not. It continues. We will continue to review the possible violations, and I say possible, policy, not law, as this was the responsibility of the State Attorney, until I am assured we've been thorough. At the end of our review, we will provide you with a report. As is appropriate, both in timing and by infraction, I may bring to the board recommendations of discipline. These may come before the end of the investigation if appropriate, or they may come at the end, considering how we walk through the research. In conclusion, because this investigation is ongoing, I will not make any additional comments regarding specific items, either in summary or investigation dialogue. I thank the board for your patience, and I really do, as we have briefed you on this as we've gone through it. I'm confident we will refine our work, and it will accurately reflect the direction of the board and the needs of our students. In conclusion, in summary, we are diligent as a staff to honor you by working the policy that you have assigned to us. We will redirect that in every way possible to make certain that we keep that honor alive. So I appreciate the board's patience.
Thank you.
Let me speak to just one item that Mr. Wyrosdick brought up toward the end of his comments that I believe would apply to the school board. It's just my advice to you. As he said, the investigation is ongoing, so it's not complete, so he doesn't know what, if any, disciplinary actions will be brought. It's a possibility some would be. Well, if they are, you know the system that we use and this school district uses. This board hears those matters as a final determiner of the discipline. So I would suggest to you that it would be wise to limit your comments specifically on what is alleged to have taken place, so that if it comes up at a point in time that you have to judge whether or not an employee has violated or if the discipline is appropriate, then you would not have prejudiced that employee's situation, and you would not subject your own self to perhaps being removed from hearing that matter because of that. So that's just my thought.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good advice. Thank you. All righty.